Hello, welcome back to another episode of the Mighty Emotions podcast. And this is going to be episode 10 and the final episode of season 1. I'm going to be taking a bit of a hiatus to get organized for future episodes. I feel like I just, dove in with this podcast and I have a lot that I want to share, but I believe it should be a little bit more coherent. So don't worry, the podcast will be back, but I just wanted to leave you with some practical stuff for this episode. I feel like it's been a lot of kind of talking and abstract stuff for the previous episodes. I do hope they were helpful. But for this one, I just wanted to leave you with 5 ways that you could process your emotions physically, 5 ways that you could allow your body to process the energy of your emotions. And these are really, really simple ways. It's actually inspired by reels I did on my Instagram. So you can go check that out if you don't follow me at mighty_emotions on Instagram. And yeah, because there's kind of 2 parts to processing our emotions. There's the physical, like our body processing the energy of our emotions, and then there is the mental perspective side of things. So here are 5 simple ways that you can get that energy moving out of your body if you find that you get stuck holding on to suppressing your emotions in some way. So the first way is to let yourself cry. Right? Crying is really cathartic. It is a really good release. It's not something you have to force. I'm not a crier. There's certain movies that for sure are gonna let the waterworks go, but for the most part, I'm not a crier. But if you're somebody that has never allowed yourself to cry, like you feel the tears and you always hold it back, then allowing yourself to cry is a really good way to allow your body to process your feelings. The second way is yawning. So yawning is another way that our body's actually processing that energy. It's like releasing that energy in some way. So yeah, like yawn all you want basically. And this is a simple way that you can actually process your emotions. Again, it's not something you necessarily need to force, but maybe just recognizing like, oh, okay, my body's processing some energy. If you find yourself yawning a lot and being tired is a sign that you might be holding on to some emotions. And so yawning is a good way to kind of release that. The third way is humming. I love humming. I love humming. It's so simple. You can do it literally anywhere, anytime. And it's another good way to process the energy of your emotions. So if you're really angry or you're really stressed or really anxious, humming is a really good way to help your body process that energy, and take yourself out of your head and into your body. The fourth way is shaking, like shaking your whole body. This one you might want to be alone for because you might look a little wacky. But just shaking, like giving yourself a good shake head to toe, shaking out your arms, your limbs, your legs, your feet, just, jumping up and down just for like a minute or so and then just pausing. Shaking is a good way of allowing your body to get that energy moving and processing that energy. And that's another big reason that going to the gym, working out, doing yoga, different things like this are recommended when you're feeling stressed or anxious, because it is moving your body that really helps. But you don't necessarily need to exercise. You can literally find a quiet place and shake for a minute and then pause. And that can really help as well. And then the final way that I'm going to share today is really simple. It's just sitting, closing your eyes, and sorry if you hear my cat in the background, sitting, closing your eyes, and noticing the sensations in your body. So where in your body are you feeling tense or pain or heat or cold? Just noticing the different sensations that you're having. If you feel shaking anywhere, if you feel tingling anywhere, this is a really good way of letting your body just get familiar, not even letting your body, but letting yourself get familiar with how your emotions feel, right? Overwhelmed feelings are normal when we're not familiar with our emotions, but when we can actually sit and tune into what we're experiencing when we're stressed or we're sad or we're angry, then that can really help to take some of that overwhelmingness away. It can kind of tone things down for us. And so, yeah, just sitting and noticing what sensations you're experiencing and how your body is feeling is a really good way of helping your body process your emotions. So, those are your 5 tips. I recommend trying them out. My favorite personally is humming. Like cats purring. It's just such a good way of letting that energy move through you instead of holding on to it, restricting it, just letting it flow. So I hope that you enjoyed this episode, and I hope that you will listen to future episodes when the podcast is back. Definitely connect with me on Instagram at mighty_emotions. You could also email me at mightyemotions@gmail.com if you have any questions or interested in booking a session with me or clarity call with me. And yeah, I look forward to where the podcast is going to go, and I really appreciate everyone who's listened so far. If you found it valuable, please rate it on Spotify. You can give me some stars. And if you find anything that I share helpful, definitely share it with your family and friends, and let me know in the email if you have any feedback or you're interested in knowing more about a particular emotion. I'm happy to make episodes on that in the future. And I really, really appreciate you for listening, and I'll see you next season. Bye.